Hey, it's Chris. We're going to take a quick 5-minute tour of Mesh and see how to use it effectively. So Mesh is a JavaScript code editor that feels like a spreadsheet. So like any spreadsheet, you can enter information into cells and see it appear in front of you. You can also enter formulas and can also have cells refer to other cells. And when we change that, you'll see the result changes as well. There's a couple of things here. One is that every cell has a unique identifier. By default, that will be its name. And that you can see these are colored differently. And Mesh tries to do a few things that would be sort of convention in Excel, but not something that's enforced in the app. So Mesh will color your hard codes or literals or information that won't change constants as blue and any formulas as white. But you can always customize that by changing the CSS. So we can click change theme and we'll get a white theme and we'll go black theme, and you can make it whatever you want really because it's all just CSS. If we change that to say hello, you'll see the alignment of that cell changes. So numbers are aligned on the right, but strings are aligned on the left. And you can also see that this is in fact JavaScript. It is treating this input just like any other JavaScript input, and you can see how JavaScript concatenates information when there's a string and a number involved. Let's just change it back to 1 for now. Now, it would be very useful to you if all you could do is type stuff into cells and create formulas. Let's do something that's a bit more interesting, both for JavaScript people and for Excel people, and that's put in a table. So the way you do a table is by pressing Control Alt and pressing T, and that will let you define a new column. So let's call that column N, and then let's fill it with some information. So just keep typing, and it will expand automatically. So for num 1, 2, 3, say. Now, semantically, a table is, although it's not a first-class construct, Mesh understands how to read these and to display them just like a table. So they're a very convenient way to display information concisely. And something that, I think programmers honestly should have access to. It's something that, Excel programmers and other spreadsheet users can really take advantage of quite well to express information. But let's get back to business. Let's do something with this information. It's not just for display. So as I said, this is an array of objects, and we can in fact extract just that column by doing standard array operations. So let's map over the table. Let's take the row and let's get the property or column n, and we'll see 1, 2, 3 appears. So Mesh, unlike most production versions of Excel, has dynamic arrays that will shrink and contract as you add information. So if I add an extra row to this table, then the dynamic array will expand. It would also be nice if we could, add some stuff up. So it is an array, so we can just reduce it, and we can actually put a function in a cell, in an expression. So let's say there's a function here that returns the sum of two numbers. Let's give it a starting point, just like any reduced needs. And we'll get 10. And that'll update if we change this as well. Now it's quite verbose. Is there any way we can sort of compress this down a little bit? Now JavaScript doesn't have a built-in sum function, but we can always define one. So Mesh lets you put functions into cells. So let's do that now. So what do we do just then? We took an array, we then reduced it using a little adder. So let's do the same thing. Let's define a function that takes an array and returns the reduction of that array what are we doing there? Cool. So that is some abstract logic that lives in a cell. Just a function living in a cell, has a location. And we can in fact apply it to this. So let's take that and then call it on the column, and we'll get the same thing. Just to verify it's working, it is in fact. Now it'd be a pain if we had to constantly refer to a formula or function by its cell reference. It'd be cool if we can give that a proper name, and we can. So by default, it's its location, but you can always press F3 to pop out its name cell, and we can change that to sum. And suddenly we'll see that behind the scenes mesh has rewritten the references to that cell location using the new ID of that cell, just like a spreadsheet would. Now I did say that this is a JavaScript code editor, right? So where's all the JavaScript? And the answer is we can pop open a code pane here and we can see what mesh has been doing behind the scenes. So each one of these things is a cell definition, has a value, a location, and you can see that anything that's a formula is a getter on that object effectively. And then it's some boilerplate down here, which what this will basically do is it'll allow tables to do their magic, and it'll also arrange for resolution of these cells in the right order, regardless of the order they appear in the source. Now, there's a few things I haven't covered here. JavaScript has a lot of really powerful things that aren't in Excel. For example, you can do regex. Another great thing that you'll see on the demo GIF on the homepage from that spreadsheet is the use of a calculated column. And if you dig into that, what I'll do is on this video, I'll show you the source that generated that table. You can also do things like set a default formatter. You can use this as a backend for calculations for a web page. Because this is in fact just a JavaScript sheet, it is just saved as text. So you can diff sheets very easily. You can use this as part of backend systems. There's a lot of advantages to using this approach compared to a standard spreadsheet program. There are a lot of bugs and there's a lot to be finished, as you've probably seen in part of what we can go through, but I love any feedback you have, and look forward to developing Mesh into a tool that is really useful for a lot of people. Thanks very much.